complex world, face to face with problems we didn't create. So what's gonna happen next? We are. Because our future is the future. The life we have chosen has prepared us for this. So we're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're gonna save families from disasters and feed those left in the cold. We're going to do all this and more because we have an appointment with destiny. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
Hello and welcome, Madden fans. We are here and we are live. The Rally Cry Collegiate Series featuring Madden 24 continues now. I'm FBI Tugboat here with my man Navanta. Navanta, how are we feeling on the day?
Well, you know, it's Saturday, so it's the best time for that football, but also championships are in the air, so I feel just a little bit more up in my heels there, Tugboat. I'm excited.
Very, very much excited as well, my friend. We have had I guess across almost an 8-week period now, 4 different qualifiers, a whole lot going down, and still 8 players now vying the top 4 positions. We've been talking about this for such a long time. Both of us have been so excited about it. It almost feels unreal that it is finally here. Now, folks, we're gonna be splitting up our finals going into the grand finals. Across our 2 days. First and foremost, today we'll have our match from our first round of the top side of this bracket. It'll be a double elimination now, no single elimination like we had during our open qualifiers. And we'll be doing about half of it today. We'll be even doing a lower bracket match as well before rounding all of this up going into the grand finals tomorrow. Because what we all know about grand finals, right, Navanta?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, the best weekend to do it, 3/16 day if you're a wrestling fan, and then St. Patrick's Day tomorrow if you are a fan of Luck of the Irish. But you're absolutely right. It's all about prizes. It's all about the cash. Let's see how this breaks down. And see, it's $5,000 are going to be on the line throughout this tournament, but it's basically broken down between our top winners. But the more important thing is this: the winner of the whole enchilada has a chance. No, not a chance. Will be appearing at the NFL draft in April in Detroit.
Sir, it's April 25th through 27th. The grand finalists, both of them, who are going to be going in playing in those grand finals, are going to be playing on the lights and the sounds of the next generation of actual NFL talent on the field. That is just insanely exciting. Insanely exciting. Absolutely love it. Absolutely.
If this year's draft is anything like last year's draft, it's going to be absolutely electric, especially for our Texans. Let's go, because I'm kind of biased. Houston's up. But yeah, just to be in the room with so many luminaries and dignitaries showing the world that you're good at this game and it's beyond a game is fantastic. A fantastic experience for all those involved. But to do that, you have to go through this time. Double elimination here in our championship weekend, which means you do get a bit of a lifeline if you do lose. But hey, look, no one wants to lose on stream, right? You want to push everything forward, baby.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Lights and the sounds and the pressure in your face. How do you control it and how do you deal with it? We're going to find it out here on the day. This will be the same exact format-wise through our regular season qualifiers, right? We're going to be doing 5-minute quarters, with an accelerated clock, as well as the best of 3 format as well. No one and dones. And of course, you get second opportunity coming in. A classic double elimination bracket where the grand finalists will see the player coming in from the lower side of the bracket. Top side of the bracket will be finished off a little bit earlier, and then we'll figure out all the fun grand finals rules once we get there, folks. Let's talk a little bit more about the day here specifically. We have 2 very familiar names here on the broadcast. First, Navanta, that is Neighbor, and that is Juixetae.
Yeah, absolutely. We're getting word from production that both of them will be represented by the Buffalo Bills, which is also a team we love so much. Give us a little bit of a spicy approach to things, but both these teams are heavy hitters, and both these teams have very unique styles. And it's kind of fun to see how they clash.
Yes, the defensive powerhouses that is the Buffalo Bills, right? 2 of them playing on the field here. is going to be absolutely electrifying. Navant, you and I spent, let's be honest, probably half of the open qualifiers with Chiefs versus Chiefs, and that just gets old after a while. There are only so many Travis Kelce's. There are only so many Marquise Scantling. I don't know why after like 9 weeks, I've known the man's name for many years before that I can't continuously get his name right.
You know what?
I just don't get it.
Sometimes it's a block. I always forget about Pacheco until you bring him up. So I totally understand. But you're absolutely right. Imagine having so many different mirror matches. There's always been Chiefs versus Chiefs, but I think this is our first Bills versus Bills that I was a part of here this season. So it'd be kind of cool to see who has a little bit more of an edge here. But a thing about mirror matches, you can't blame the playbook. It comes down to skill, right? Yeah, there's some things you can tweak, a lot of audibles you can do, but it really comes down to play command and play selection and execution when it's all said and done.
Yeah, like whoever is going to know this team the best and then go forth and really ply their will on the virtual football field today was going to come out on top. Of course, you can pick your own offense, defensive playbook, but let's get it going here. Neutral territory. This is Juixetae on the right and Neighbor on the left. Neighbor at least representing the away colors.
I gotta say, we were remiss if we can't mention the Army and National Guard for the support for this tournament. The soldiers of the Army and National Guard show up for the community, state, country when needed the most. They're civilians and soldiers, and Guard service is part-time. Soldiers in the Guard can work full-time, go to school, fulfill their training at a minimum of 1 week in a month with job-specific annual training. Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Yeah, and folks, if you're thinking that this is something that's going to be a 9 to 5, like a huge commitment, just really isn't. Just really isn't. If you haven't heard us talking about it, opening qualifiers here on the day. Army National Guard, most people, in fact, the vast majority of Army National Guardsmen and women are going to be going forth and just fulfilling their once-a-month obligation. Most of them have full-time jobs, and a lot of them also go forth and further that higher education. They have state and federal tuition assistance programs as well. Find out a little bit more of their Army National Guard. It's a screen action to start this one off. It's to Shakir.
Wow, already getting started with the screen action. I thought for sure they had a try to fill out period, but it looks like we're pushing yardage really early here in this one.
Oh, it's going to be Cook taking it right up the middle. A little jumper step to the right side is going to get out to the first right here. Once again, not ideal. You know, second and inches. That's where Devonta and Tugboat live.
Yeah, absolutely. So close, but yet so far. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, but a fresh set. Just a couple of inches away, or dozens of centimeters for our friends across the pond. Josh Allen with a bomb right there to the right side. 52 total yards. That's going to be a 30-yard bomb to Diggs. Allen gets the coverage that is needed across the body. Not going to matter. Talk about Dawson Knox here. Again, man, it's been Travis Kelce. That's the big sexy name, Novanta. But Dawson Knox can get it done. And the getting gets tough. That's going to be Stephon Diggs right inside. And one of these teams has come out with a perfect completion ratio, all positive plays, one of them for 30-plus yards, and that's going to be kicker staying perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta wag a finger for those that came to the stream late before you settle down. We already got 7 points on the board, and well, I'm so glad they got a touchdown on yardage because I don't want to know what a centimeter is. Am I right?
What is a centimeter? God, one of the best beams still all time. Juixetae opting to take this kickoff out, loses about 11 for the attempt, but an attempt is an attempt nonetheless. We've been going back and forth about this, Novanta. You and I are of the same mind. Especially early, why not take these options? Why not take these risks?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Juicy has actually, even though they're down by 7, has a really important decision to make. Are they going to try to match the speed of Neighbor, fire with fire, or try to slow things down and have fire with water and make Neighbor play their pace and pretty much beat them into submission? So this drive here will be crucial to see what the strategy is going to be.
Indeed it will. Indeed it will. Setting the pace. This is going to be the same exact screen going the other way, the same way that Neighbor started their game off. If there's any justice in this world, Novanta, Juixetae is going to run the same exact plays that Neighbor did, like, you know, verbatim all the way through, hopefully with a different result, or at least a little bit of a different result, maybe with the same exact result. That's going to be a bomb. That's going to be to Diggs. This is going to be for a touchdown, though. This is not going to be for a 31-yard bomb. And what can I say? I think we are in for a high-scoring game.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way. But here's how that drive was constructed, right? The screen to the right kind of caught the defense off guard. So they tried to refortify the right side, which they did, but left that backfield wide open for a bomb to make it almost, I don't know, a tie game, right? Yes, officially a tie game.
There we go. Tyler Bass stays perfect. No reason to believe that that's going to be anything different, as it is rather calculated, collected here within Madden 24. Perfectly timed kicked, put it well. This is going to be just a little bit of just a little teaser right there. Shakir's not going to go for this one, and Juixetae is going to start their defensive efforts. 25.
You know, one of the other storylines we had during the season, we have those cheese for cheese matches, is about the advantage of Arrowhead. But playing at a neutral site, yeah, there is a home team in theory here, but sometimes you don't might see that kind of thing bleed into the home squad. So one of the benefits of saying you have to really outplay your opponent if you want to get ahead here.
Indeed, the power-ups, the randomosities, and more not going to be as represented here within the Caesar Superdome. Still staying perfect. Talk about threading the needle. The man out here making a whole cross stitch.
Yeah, yeah, thread multiple needles. You're not on the same mind there. I thought for sure I was going to go the other way, and wow. Well, sometimes all good fortune comes to an end. It felt like everyone was going to catch any kind of play, but that one was stopped right behind the line of scrimmage.
Every rose has its thorn. Well, not going to remain perfect right here for Josh Allen, unfortunately. That one barely gets out to avoid the loss of downs. That is Davis still catching this. My goodness.
Are we having a musical cast? I could come up with some songs, you know.
I'll go with it. I'll go for it.
I'm off key. It'd be the worst. We'll lose so many watchers.
Fair. Have to start paying rally cry.
Sorry, guys. Here you go.
You take it, put it into the prize pool. It would just make sense. It would just make sense. Ooh, that's a fat sack here. Damar Hamlin, comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
Gonna be taking a big one right here, Navanta.
Oh, that was a good sack, but you're right. We should have an off-key singing jar instead of a swear jar here at Rally Cry. But yeah, Damar Hamlin, what a story is there. But that wasn't. Oh, I thought it was caught, but it wasn't. What happened?
Yeah. This is so weird because sometimes like that seemed like it was a guaranteed catch. There's been two so far. It's like, wait, did he just throw that through the defender, like through the man's chest? Like,
yeah. There you go. Well, don't lie there. There's a touchdown here. Sometimes you got to take a chance at greatness. That one was well executed. Now it's 13-7. Well, a high-scoring game definitely seems more and more apparent there, Tugboat.
yeah, 21 points first quarter. Not even technically out of this one, especially the way this has been going. Juixetae could easily come back 44 seconds, put up another 7 points. Something tells me that field goals just aren't going to matter in this one, my friend.
Yeah, you know, it's so funny because we had so many games where field goals did matter, but if everyone's throwing hurting bombs and catching them and getting touchdowns, yeah, you got to bring out the big guns. And so that theory of slowing down a game seems to be out the window as we have ourselves a hit parade here in the first.
Yes, we do. This is a back and forth. This is Juixetae now going to have to decide how they want to set up the pace of this offense, right? Do you just want to come back and do you want to try and score in that 44 seconds? The majority of Rob and I's conversation a few weeks ago was such that it was like, just score and then waste out the quarter. Score, waste out the quarter, and that's what either player should be doing. Perhaps this is like the 5D chess, but it doesn't seem like that's what either of these players are going to be doing. No, it's going to be another screen off to the right. Both Neighbor and Juixetae just do this to feel very comfortable.
Yeah, you and I both know there's a lot of Madden to play in one of these games, but even though it's like the last possible play, I think so here, the attempt was going to always be the tie because it's psychologically better for you to say, hey, look, we have a tie game going into the second. But that said, down by one touchdown is not impossible. In fact, it's very possible to come back even in second.
Yeah, 100%. See how this team does? Again, Juixetae did it in two plays. It was a screen to the right, and it was a bomb.com out to the right side. Like it was 2004. James Cook, not Jared Cook. James Cook, right up the middle. I can't get these similar names but wrong names started this early, Navanta.
Oh yeah, Jason Kelce retired. I'm totally with you. You know, I have a question about the offensive play call here. When we have so many players opting in the shotgun, I wonder if they're really selling their playbook short. You know what I mean? When it comes down to their approaches with these drives.
you're guaranteeing that a man named James Cook has to make 2 extra steps before A, he's on bodyguard duty, right before he's blocking, B, before he cuts out to a receiver role, or C, or if he's being handed the actual ball and does his job as a running back. Who would have guessed it in 2024, right? Like,
Right.
I know it sounds crazy, folks.
Speaking of, have you been catching up with the off season? It's been crazy this week, huh?
Oh, I most certainly have. I saw Jadeveon Clowney to the Carolina Panthers returning South
Oh
Carolina
my
to
goodness me.
a Carolina, I shouldn't say, because technically it's in Charlotte, right in North Carolina.
Right.
I would sometimes when I need to get like jazzed up, I can't truthfully say I watched it for this broadcast, but sometimes when I just need to get jazzed up, I Google Jadeveon or just the hit,
Yeah.
college football, and it is frequently the Jadeveon Clowney hit against Vince Young in the Outback Bowl, University of South Carolina against Michigan. I remember watching that and just losing my mind live.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Didn't work out for him in Houston, but I wish him well. Actually, that's another question that's raised: is if you're from
Sure.
South Carolina, do you claim the Panthers or you're a Falcons person?
Yeah, you have to.
Okay.
I have love for the Falcons. Don't get me wrong, but I mean Panthers have the Carolina name on them. Even
Okay.
if it has been hard, difficult, a long
Yeah.
and rocky road, decrepit, you could even say, to be a Panthers fan since 2017. Like,
Wow.
especially watching Cam go up north, go to Boston, right? That was so exciting for 2.5 weeks, and then just nothing happened, right? It just
Right.
did not have the same magic that he found on the field frequently, in Bank of America Stadium down in Charlotte.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I've ever had the pleasure of seeing the Carolina Panthers live, but I wonder how rowdy the crowd gets out there when you have to play on the road.
Not an incredible. It sounds like I'm being so negative, but they with it regionally very well traveled, not necessarily like nationally, right? And not you're not going to find many Carolina Panthers fans on West Coast, games when they do go all the way out there.
I hear that. Well, 2-minute warning here in the second. That about me is interviewing Tugboat about the Carolina
Yeah,
Panthers.
right. I was all about it, dude. Like,
I'm with it too, man. Like, why not? That's a team that came out after I was born. I have such an
that's true.
affinity for that squad, so why not?
Their screenplay, Davis, gonna get a couple right here, but yeah, that is. I mean, yeah. Talk about expansion teams, right? The Texans as well, Ravens. Who was the fourth? The
Jets.
Titans. No,
Oh,
you're right.
sorry.
You're right. No, you're 100% right. It's the Jags, not the Titans. I don't know why. I always think the Tennessee Titans are a new team. Oh,
Well,
Stephon-
they are, so, but they some that kind of claim those Houston Oilers jerseys got me
Yeah,
all
exactly.
messed up, right?
Yeah, TD, XP will make it 7. Tyler Bass, no reason to believe this is going to be anything but a strike right up the middle. There you go. No knockdown pins necessary for this one. Most methodical and predictable play in football. Here comes the second most methodical and predictable. I'm not going to go off on it today. Actually, I might later if you know what I'm saying, if
Well,
it's a
go ahead.
long day. If it's a long day, I might go off on it like we did last week, but
Right.
I'm just all the news coming out for the UFL stuff. A lot of podcasts kicking up again. More football starting here in about 2 weeks. Really excited for that.
Like I said, you are a USFL guy. I was an XFL guy, and besides the Houston team taking on the XFL name, I feel like this new
Dude,
league is so USFL. I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know. It's too USFL for me. I
There's
can't.
only 3 teams. Okay, I mean like the roughneck. Okay, yeah, you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
it was a late
Like, it was-
change. No, the gamblers are going to be there.
despise. But to be fair, they I really don't like what they did with like just taking the team and everything else and just changing literally just changing the name in the market and whatnot. But
Yeah.
they have also sold all of their advertising until for the regular season. Not sure about the playoffs. And because of that and other things, they did announce 2 days ago that they're expanding to 12 teams to 12 teams next year and then 16 teams at the year after, obviously barring bankruptcy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I know this is not the point of this whole stream, but if the Guardians come back or the Dragons come back, I'll be happy.
I would love to see Dragons to come back. Guardians,
The
it's
New York
football.
Guardians.
Oh, the New York Guardians. There you
Yeah,
go. Okay, I
yeah,
was
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about Orlando. They didn't
No,
do
no,
very
no,
much
no.
down there, man. But
No,
it's
they
football.
moved them. Yeah.
You just have to include the state of Florida. There's just too many people down there to not include the state of Florida in some way, shape. That's my take on it. Just like how half the league now, it seems, is coming from the state of Texas. you got to take at least one and give it a 4, man.
I'm with that. Final moments in the first half of this one. Tied 14 apiece, and it looks like Juixetae is on defense, trying to see if they can stop this and roll into the tie into the second half. And, well, even though the scoring has slowed down a bit, I don't think the intensity has. They're talking about.
I can definitely agree with that. Back in the gun yet again. Short, methodical pass here to Dawson Knox yet again. 2nd and 4. Gonna be a no huddle. Not gonna be a no timeout either. So makes the time-saving effort without actually stopping the clock. Dawson Knox high stepping a couple of times right there for a little bit more. Here comes a timeout finally from Neighbor as he's gonna be lining up at the 15.
Inches away from the first interception of the game. I thought for sure it was like extended arm, but looks like just bringing it down and huddling and protecting the rock was important. But those are the kind of plays I would say late in the game might cost you, so I don't want to rely on those too much.
Another time out. Early breakup, though. That's only going to be the 4th incomplete pass coming from a man named Josh Allen playing for the neighbor-controlled Buffalo Bills. Really have not, I mean, neither of these players, Neighbor or Juixetae, have missed a whole lot of passes. With old Jay Allen. Stephon Diggs, first down, just outside. Yeah, this is like on the literal one.
Yeah, the literal one looks like 1st and goal. That incomplete pass I thought was caught as well. Almost like a rugby situation. It was like a pass and spike down at the same time. Didn't count.
Laughing not along with that one because I don't know very much about rugby. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, really? Yeah, in rugby, once you cross the line, you have to spike the ball on the ground. That's how it counts.
Ooh, Stephon Diggs going to follow along with that rugby rule after a nice touchdown, the grab out of the air, spike down, coming post-haste.
Yeah. Rugby is so much fun, man. Just check it out. You have a chance. The Australian League is hilarious.
I'm also up like really late too, and I've kind of been trying to find a sport that I like that I'm not like forcing, but I can still watch late. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like
yeah.
here, Vegas, West Coast time.
Yeah. Australian rugby airs at like 3 a.m. or 4
Yeah,
a.m.
like-
West Coast time.
Especially because basketball is just starting so. Like I'm so ready for March Madness, but it just. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Classic gamer. I usually get up like 10:30, 11, sometimes noon.
Wow.
Hey, I can be honest on broadcast.
Hey, I like that. I just feel like I'm such an old man because I'm up by like 6 a.m.
Another
trolling about. Yeah.
screen pass. That's how we start off the last 4 first downs, like last 4 plays for these teams getting off of kickoff.
Yeah, could have got a little bit more yards there, but you kind of got stuck behind some pixels and got like stopped in place. But I love the idea of using the user-generated jukes. They're always fun to see who has the smarts when to do it. They're almost like the NOS button in race car games, Too early, too late. It's a bad idea. Right time, amazing.
Perfect. Yep. Did you ever play PUBG back in the day, like when it was in like an early development?
Like chess, I played, but I wasn't good at it.
That's fair. Same in fact, actually. I identify with that. But sometimes you'd be, especially when it was early in development, you'd be driving across like an open field and there'd literally just be a single pixel that's like raised from the ground a little bit. And so you'd be like driving, trying to avoid, circle with like 3 people, 3 of your teammates in the back, and you'd hit this pixel and just explode in a fiery ball of flames.
Yeah.
It's like almost what it was like right here.
Why didn't anyone tell me?
James Cook. Easy screen, 6 yards up. Short, methodical plays. Both of these players thus far have been trying to set the pace for like, hey, a little run every now and again with James Cook. Nice little short pass. And, of course, our screens. Can't forget about our screens, of course. Screens seems like they've been probably the most positive play so far, though, right? I mean, no picks, so you can't really call these long bombs bad by any means.
Right.
But the screens are where both Neighbor and Juixetae have been living.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because if I'm playing against Juixetae, if you stop the screen, the bomb's going to come. So I'd almost like let the screen go, get a couple yards, give them a false insecurity so they can do another short pass again. The last thing you want to do is hit them the first time on the first screen and then be completely helpless with a huge bomb down the field like that.
There you go. Stephon Diggs. Fantastic stuff. Right in the tiny little window. Still going to break that glass. Lining up on the 20 right now. Back in the gun. Got plenty of options. Goes way out to the end. And James Cook tippy toes along the sideline for 10.
Oh, that balance there. I thought it was kind of a catch and walk out. But, hey, an extra couple yards makes everyone happy on that side.
Yeah, yeah. If you're on the Juixetae side, of course, neighbor now in a much worse position, and still with the first down capabilities as well. You get up to inches on this one. Juixetae is going to get another fresh set of them. Trips left as of right now. Now going to be mixing it up and more evenly loading the right side. Now we have an almost perfectly bisectioned offensive line. Now getting up,
Ooh.
almost out, almost gets this to Davis. That would have been good for the Fivers.
I don't know what happened there.
I love how he stands up and starts celebrating, though. Like,
I would play it off too. That didn't happen.
yeah, there you go. Yep. Pretend like they just started recording.
Right.
Screenplay. Davis gets the blocking that he needs, but actually the from behind tackle right there. Juixetae. This was good when you had like a lot of field earlier where you could toss these 20 to 30-yard bombs down the field, but it's no longer a situation they find themselves in. 3rd and 4. You take a sack, you go for it. You take like a 3-yard, 5-yard sack, do you go for it? Or you just take the points right here. You have to wonder. Round around, Stephon Diggs wide open as Juixetae puts up on another 6.
This is why playing different versions of Madden is so interesting, because like if injuries are on or realistic or simulation mode, I would not take that sack at all.
Yeah.
Just because how impactful the game is. But yeah, you would do try to draw it out, but got some space with the hook. Doesn't matter because now it's tied once again at 21 apiece.
It wouldn't really matter, man. You just borrow the Josh Allen from the other side. He plays offense both sides. It's cool, like backyard football.
On loan, yeah.
Yeah, like the perma QB, dude. My Uncle Mad.
We did that too, yeah.
Yeah. Funny story. I might actually clip this and send it to him. But back in the day, until I was about like 15 or 16, my Uncle Matt was a die-hard Packers fan, and partially because we didn't really understand, like, oh, you know, people just wear the jerseys of teams they like, and partially because he straight up lied to us and told us, like, yeah, like I did play for the Green Bay Packers. So we thought that we played for the Packers until probably 17, 18, something like that.
Wow. That's pretty cool, man. I mean, I would have a lie to some kids for decades on end. That's like a goal of mine.
Oh, my wife's sister's kids? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Make them believe anything. It's just fun digs right there. He'll make you believe in anything for sure. Another big bomb. There's one man keeping the offensive dreams alive here for neighbor. That man's name is Stephon Diggs. Crazy stuff.
Can't lie, I probably would have risked the pass interference there. It looks like a lot of the officiating has been pretty lax. I wouldn't like let a catch happen so deep down. All right, looks like neighbor is on a roll, just moving those chains.
It really is. This is also spinning up the time, folks. We had 28 points in the first half. We have 7 with 43 seconds left in this one. First down plus a little bit more here for Dawson Knox as neighbors Josh Allen stays real good at 17 for 21 on attempted passes. In the pocket, stays there wide open is James Cook right up the middle. This man coverage gets blown wide open. Barn door open.
I gotta be honest with you. When you watch these games, the third quarter always seems to be the longest because everyone tries that whole different strategy. Ends up being a sort of a new game within a game. But the fact that the third is almost done and we're seeing these two clash back and forth, almost like a battle at Dragon Ball, tells you that you know what's on stake and you know the intensity has been 110% and climbing.
Climbing right here takes us back from the 25.
Yes, sir. Well, 28-21 has showed us not much daylight between these two. It always seems that when someone scores, the answer is already there, which means the margin of error is even getting smaller and smaller as time evaporates.
Second play probably for tackle for loss, though?
Which is unheard of. Absolutely unheard of.
I mean, especially, this only happened because it was the handoff. If this is Josh Allen, Paul would have just magically popped out of his hands over to the side with nobody getting under it and just a, loss of it down. Pretty much no loss of yardage.
You jaded, bro? Do you want to see more QB sacks?
I might be a little bit jaded. I might be a little bit jaded.
Let's see more QB sacks, bro. Oh, all right on cue. Tugboat called it, and that was a loss of a down being popped out. 3rd and 14.
Really gets this one out yet again. This is going to be Juixetae. Thumb screws on. Pressure is here. Heavily loaded close side trips. Audibles upon audibles do come. Now, generally, Juixetae has been trying to play this side more evenly unless we're just looking at another screen, but 14 yards on a screen is a difficult order no matter who you are. Plenty of options here, but just gets absolutely destroyed across the middle. Von Miller wipes the shoulder off a little bit with a, 11-yard sack?
Are they going for? Are you kidding me? What?
It's Madden, bro. It's Madden.
It's 4th and 25. That's unheard of. What? Why?
Loading the fat side here again. I'm assuming this is Juixetae just thinking, hey, this is my get a Geo free card within this best of 3. This is a best of 3 series as well, or a double elimination bracket as well. So take some chances, rattle that, see what happens. But the best field position we might see, the best starting field position, I should say, that we will probably see today is Neighbor taken to the field right now. James Cook gets around 1. Milano does his best Superman impression on his way and still doesn't get there. James Cook inside. That's for 6, excuse me.
Yeah, that right there makes it
That's
7.
for 7. Okay, there you go.
that right there was just 4th and 25. You're up against the touch. Why would you even? You know what? Maybe it's a strategy that's a strategy that's way beyond my comprehension. But this is a concession of points that could have been well avoided.
I could 100% agree with that. Yes, you got a little bit of wiggle room here, not just within the series, but within the day in the double elimination. No, nobody wants to drop down there and early, and nobody wants to be in a situation when you have to be playing from behind. Take 2 games back to back at the next one here, but Juixetae, hey, they are in this bracket for a reason, my friend. For a reason. Another screen,
true.
And Gabe Davis does not get the blocking that he was looking for. Had he gotten that might have been a sideline all the way down type play.
Yeah, absolutely true. I think Juixetae has had a couple of come behind wins here in this tournament specifically, but now the challenge is on. You don't have extra quarters. This is it. 3 minutes and change. You got to come up with a way to score at least twice to get you back in here.
Yeah, and 3 minutes 30 seconds. I mean, I don't want to say it's impossible because we saw that onside kick. Now James Cook taking this one, working his way to the middle of the field. Gonna pop right up and show us what he's got. Dance floor there. Celebrations. And now outside of James Cook to the right side, this is a perfectly bisectioned offensive lineup. Now rolling to the left, looking forward, just throws this out. Once he gets out of the pocket, doesn't want to take up time nor face a bad sack.
Yeah, if you're watching this now, ask your uncle or dad about the hammer dance, because that's exactly what James Cook was doing a minute ago.
Has to be one of those 2 people because I can guarantee you nobody else would remember.
Right. I'm an old man talking about it. It's all right.
Oh, Audibles, more line of scrimmage, barely gets out right here. You saw a couple of other players try to get 2 of it. 4th and 8 now comes Juixetae. This really is their last offensive opportunity. You have to get, I'm going to say, not even just a first down, really. You're on your 44. You have to get up probably to about the 30 or even 25 or so. Set yourself up a really good field position. You don't get this. This is probably just a GG's.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there's always a thing to do a short pass, secure pass,
Nope,
and it's
okay.
going the other way. I was going to say that, but look at that going the other way. Understand what your opponent's going to do and looking ahead in the future. Minority Report style. There's a touchdown, baby.
Movie always scared me. That movie always scared me, as does Micah Hyde scare the dreams of the offensive players. Micah Hyde, fantastic job right there. That's going to be, that just makes sense. Not no shade here casted from the tugboat from Novanta. This just makes a little bit of sense. 2 minutes or some change, 3 scores, just not going to happen. All about it. FBI Tugboat Novanta, we've been taking you guys through game number 1. A Neighbor now coming forth with a really solid foot forward here in a, what is that? 5. That would have been a 42-point game. Yeah. So 35-21. The interception there at the end would have been more points. Didn't quite make it there. Concede came first. Rather one-sided affair here in game number 1.
I disagree. I think it was pretty nice. I think it was was going back and forth for a while. It's about a game of concentration, and really, it was a chance to do something very, very small and secure. But it was a gamble to go for broke, a mistake made by Juixetae that was ultimately punished by Neighbor. And after that, the Sloven City wins the race. So the hair
there in front of me and I'm watching it. Okay, there's one side of it's not. It's in the past. It doesn't exist anymore. No. But Juixetae, Neighbor, still going to have a second opportunity here, of course, within the series. And if this is another L going towards the side of Juixetae, they will have a second opportunity within the bracket on the day and tomorrow, of course. And tomorrow, they just have to. That's just dropping in round one and making it all the way through the lower bracket is just a tall task and a rough ask.
Look, it's best of three, so there's a chance to even push the game three and lose. But the last thing you want to do is go to a championship tournament and go on a losing streak. So let's say you drop two in a row here. I'm not trying to put doom and gloom, but let's say that happens. I think we put so much pressure on ourselves to fight out of the lower bracket, we make more rash decisions, end up being one of those self-fulfilling prophecies. So now, more than ever, for their own sense of sanity, that Juicy needs to win this one to at least force a game three, let the better team win.
And I think this is gonna come off the back of like making this Buffalo Bills squad like a little bit more of your own. You know what I'm saying? This was just very, very methodical and predictable. Almost every single drive, at least in the first half, I think every single drive in the first half started off with a screen, mostly to the left, sometimes to the right, with players providing blocking and whatnot. Yes, it got yardage, but you just set up yourself for this very, very methodical and predictable set and series of plays. After that, especially once like the pressure got on, like that pick came off the back of like user interaction the entire time. The entire time right there, like there wasn't any kind of questions like, yeah, the ball might go over there. Nope, it was right up there, and that was Neighbor who got it right exactly where they needed to be for the pick six.
Hey, slow and methodical are what legends are made of. Ichiro Suzuki, Tim Duncan, Floyd Mayweather. Look, I don't knock it, but I just didn't understand 4th and 25 trying to go for it. You're so close to the touchline. It really was the only mistake. I can sit there and I will harp on it forever because that changed the game.
Whoa. Okay, we got something a bit different. Juixetae coming in, the squad out of New York. 2 squads out of New York, I should say. I did the classic thing where if it's not New York City, then it's not New York, right?
Fair enough. As a former Jets fan, I'll allow it.
There you go. I'll allow it. We'll have Aaron Rodgers coming on here with Wilson to try and make those connections, those big bomb plays like we just saw Allen and Diggs enjoy in game number 1. So talk to me a little bit about, especially as a former Jets fan, right? Obviously know the team pretty well. What are we thinking here from Juixetae to go with the Jets, try and take on Neighbor's Buffalo Bills?
So, what any other metric, the New York Jets are a weaker team than the Buffalo Bills. That may seem like a head scratcher, but since it's a team we don't see too much of, you do have that element of surprise. And really, it's a playbook no one takes time to memorize. So, I do think Juixetae is going all for broke, but this one's kind of more of a you won't see it coming, a sucker punch style, if you will.
Yeah, the element of surprise here. Loss of 3 yards on the very first play here from Neighbor. It's going to be barely getting out. And just in case you guys, just say, Juixetae left side, Neighbor right side now, folks. We had that flipped back when they were both Buffalo Bills players.
Well, let me ask you a question there, Tugboat. I mean, you and I both play Madden, and we both play Rocket League. Are you a fan of changing your squad in between rounds of a match?
I have been in the past. It seems like now it's almost folly to not play the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, we've seen a laundry list of fantastic players. There is a reason why they pretty much all go for this one. Neighbor learning the Juixetae lesson from game numero uno and just punting this one away early when you're on very, very close yardage.
Yeah, I mean, look, tie game, and you have not only the actual advantage of having the game in hand, but the psychological advantage of dictating the pace. Doesn't mean to do any rash decisions in the first quarter, unless you really want to punish your opponent and say, get out of here. But this isn't the arcade in the weekend. This is a championship series with actual prizes on the line.
Yeah, you are not fighting to stay on the boards. You are fighting to get a ticket punch to NFL Draft, April 25th to 27th in Detroit, Michigan. Detroit, it's not the Steel City. It's not the Windy City.
Motor.
That's Motor City.
Mhm.
That's Detroit. Thank you, sir. Appreciate
Yes,
you.
sir.
Appreciate
Yes,
you.
sir. I'm trying to get there this season. I'm a MLB ballpark chaser, so I want to see Comerica Park. But while I'm there, you know what I mean? Why not taking the sights?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of taking in the sights, this will be Aaron Rodgers steps back, surveys, or at least pretends to, for a couple of seconds. Lazard gets wrestled down or kind of spun down there, spitting distance away from a first down marker.
I can't lie to you. When I see even players spin digitally, I'm like, oh man, those knees protect the MCLs, man. Second inches.
It's the bad pressure. It's the bad pressure, people. Y'all know what
Right.
can happen. Second screen to Lazard. Pretty much first verse is same as this, or second verse same as the first.
Yeah, there was no coverage there. Why not double dip if you have an opponent that learns where you're gonna go?
Yeah, you're not eating nachos here, people. There's not other people who are trying to enjoy the snack with you. Double dip as much as you want. Otherwise, though, do not be a terrible human being. Like,
Yeah, don't double dip the chip. There was a whole show about that Seinfeld episode.
I am not surprised whatsoever.
Another old man reference. I apologize, y'all.
I bet they. No, dude, I love Seinfeld, and I also think Seinfeld's a lot more like eternal.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. It's always on
like,
TV.
like
Yeah.
it translates across those generations more.
Well, look at here. They're talking about first blood being drawn by the New York Jets. That doesn't happen even in real life. Wow.
There
Touchdown.
you go.
Well, 7-up. Neighbor on the back foot here for a change. I wonder what's going through their mind as they realize that if you don't get their act together, they could be in the game 3 situation.
Yeah, so this is exactly what the doctor ordered. Juixetae coming forth and not just getting the stop to begin with, but putting 6 and 7 on the board a little bit later. We'll see how Neighbor responds here, because if not, we might see a completely... I mean, I do believe this is a shifting of momentum. I don't think Neighbor is out of this one by any means, but momentum right now carrying the New York Jets.
Well, so far the strategy is working because I do think no one really estimated Lazaro on offense, and now that wall of a Jets defense. I can't believe I'm saying this. That wall of a Jets defense.
As soon as you said that, like, I woke up a little bit more. I was like, wait, hang on, am I dreaming?
Wait, I know. I'm sorry, y'all.
I had to pinch myself or something like that.
Right.
But no, it's true. It's true. James Cook, 2 rush attempts, minus yards, minus like 14 yards or something like that. Here comes Davis from the right side, going to be purchasing them a first down and a little bit more, but nothing doing out of James Cook in the backfield against the CO Green.
Yeah, definitely. Even though they're playing at home, it seems it's kind of been not nearly as quick to score, not really as quick to even advance with this kind of sleight of hand trick that Juixetae implemented in game 2.
This is the Germany field, isn't it? I could have sworn I saw that when they came out here. This is
Yeah,
one
it
of the,
says, yeah,
one of the
Munich
fields
game,
across
yeah.
the pond, but technically, yeah. I mean, you're
Okay.
right. It's pretty cool how they're doing that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, obviously in real life, but also within the within the game, playing across the pond, as they say.
That's like the future. I saw Australian rugby in Vegas. The Mets are playing in London.
So
I mean, the
cool.
Korean series in baseball. It's nuts, man.
Love it, love it. Your neighbor, you're also gonna love a bomb over here to Abe Davis. Abe Davis continuously playing that kind of bailout role a little bit, not gonna lie. Or that's Diggs, isn't it? Excuse me.
Back to the screens, man. Those are just, as you just say, being pecked to death, right? 5 yards here, 6 yards here, 10 yards there, moving everything closer.
Yeah, like, it's also doing a great job kind of picking apart a defense that got really well set up. The New York Jets, I mean, they punish the rush every single time, and now without putting a man in front of James Cook, that's going to be 6, and Neighbor looks like they're going to be hitting their strides here. Tie ball game with 20 seconds left in the first.
Yeah, here's the deal. It wasn't the fact that Neighbors scored, it's how they did it, right? The first couple of drives didn't really have a solution, but this one seemed like they figured out what the Jets and Juixetae are doing. If I'm Juixetae now, if you have a plan C, now's the time to put it in there, or else you may find yourself another L.
See how this goes, bringing it out. The Navantas of the world rejoice.
Yes. No guts, no glory.
Love it. 10 yards will be the deficit on this, but the way that this rock has been getting tossed around, more so last game, obviously, but this game as well, 10 yards would be nothing ultimately. Back in the pocket, Rodgers dancing around a little bit. Wide open is Alan Lazard. That's going to be enough for a lot. And really, this is more wiggle room outside, like behind them, right? They are no longer to have their backsides to their own end zone. 43, much more comfortable field position.
Yeah, it wasn't the cleanest throw. I thought maybe a little short, but we have a team that has no pressure and all the time the will double back. That's exactly what happened there.
Big bomb. That's to the corner. No, gonna get knocked out right there. Is that Jordan Poyer, I believe, coming forth to the defensive play?
Well, interesting. Oh, wow, they have Aaron Rodgers' helmet in the game. I didn't realize that. I'm distracted by it, the giant melon. But yes, I love the attempt there, man. Why not be as bold as you can?
Speaking of, that's Breece Hall gonna be able to get this one busted out for a 10+ yard rush. That is definitely the best performance from a running back so far in this game, especially after James Cook has just been getting shut down.
Well, this is kind of interesting. I mean, a lot of the plays themselves are the same, but they feel kind of different when the Jets are executing them. It kind of feels like more of a smash mouth, a little bit of a slower pace of a team. Not as quick as the Buffalo Bills, but the yards still count the same.
They do. They do. Right at the middle, got a little bit right there. Actually, kind of got tripped up with the teammate. Not going to matter. Is this, that's going to be good for 9. Fantastic stuff.
And in traffic, got the benefit of that one. I wouldn't repeat that play all too often, though.
Okay, that's as good as it gets. Lazard hit in stride and another 7 points on the board here for the side of Juixetae.
Well, if you are playing this tournament's version of fantasy, Lazard has already got you some benefit. Did not even see them being a target there. I was confused and surprised until it was caught. What a play.
Big kick downfield coming in. Another cornered up on the 12 or so. Keem Hines is going to take this one, give the fair catch, starting off on the 25. Navanches of the world are absolutely in shambles.
Yeah, I'm giving Juicy the trophy, but at least trying it out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's good. Allen gets this one out, diving for it, but nothing doing. That probably would have been a loss of yardage as well, so going to be happy that actually didn't come forth. Jets still only allowing -7 rushing yards.
That last play was not even out of the gun, so I was kind of surprised, but it didn't work out for them, so I guess they kind of corrected themselves really quick.
They did. That's going to be what the doctor ordered. Dawson Knox coming up. Actually curious, right? So Jordan, I'll broach the topic once Buffalo goes on the defense. Obviously, there's been some shakeup of the defensive starting lineup. Buffalo Bills. See how just updated this Buffalo Bills squad is. Allen back out to Diggs. Everybody goes for the post route. He just hits a quick hook. 2/3 the way through that route. Right up top. They're biggin. And Neighbor's going to be set up on the 38.
Always feel like there's an answer with a sea of white there, but never a second option. And wow, it's got lifted. And was it a spine buster? Is that you call it a wrestling move? Just planted back on the ground.
See what blooms after that one. 2nd and 12 for another attempt coming up here for Buffalo Bills-led Neighbor. Knox sent into motion on the left side, lines up off the line, now back, gets it out. That looked like it should have been gold and a first down right there. What happened? Just threw it right in front a little bit?
Looked like the power was right, but the line of sight of attack was kind of askew, and coverage was there, it's just that the lineup didn't work out.
Up and down, and James Cook, even though he's not a particularly tall man, people, gets this one through a whole lot. I think there was 3 different green and white jerseys right there. Could have came down with it. Nope. Yeah, James Cook just says, hey, that's not the universe we're living in.
Yeah, Cook's playing like it's a contract here, am I right?
Hey, the way that all these shakes-ups have been going, 6-year contracts just don't seem like that means that anymore. Just ask Russell Wilson.
Right. It's just business, man.
Just business. Hey, time takes a toll on us all, man. I got a lot of love for Russ, but Denver is also where a lot of quarterbacks go to live out their last few glory years.
Oh man, like a Bronco out in the plains.
This is fair. Shakir, nice screen. Buffalo Bills put another 7 points on the board.
Wow, look at that. There's 2 scores. It's almost going to be a tie game after this. Might be a tie game, and this puts a whole new honors on Juixetae.
Some time, but not a lot of time. Under 2 minutes, but still more than a minute on the clock. That's the time I'm not gonna try and sweat now.
Man,
Despite what the Navantas of the world say.
I'm saying go for it, man. 8 yards. It's just playing on hard mode. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. It's gonna be no no advantage left side. Running this one out. That's gonna be Brees Hall taking a pitch and now gets to the outside. 9 yards on the catch and run, gets the outside and stops this clock, which is way more important than any other kind of yardage situation.
Just pushed outside, is totally trucked an equipment manager. All pleasantries are gone here at their tugboat.
That meme of those two guys holding up the wall on the right side. That's the plays that those were made up for. Those plays that were drawn up for. No more spiking, just diving head first at the Gatorade or the equipment guys. No photographers getting taken out anymore. Sidelines are now
days.
safe.
Yeah.
You want to talk about destroying cameramen? First off, that's destroying Josh Allen right there on the sack. Second of all, spring football, dude. Spring football, they should get clauses within their contracts whenever you go take pictures on sideline of the USFL or XFL, or now the UFL, I should say.
Yeah. They should have like their own little a bubble, like a harness or a barrier.
Yeah, right. Looking like Bubble Boys on the sideline, but hey, wouldn't be. I mean, hey, they're out there. They're out there, supporting spring football and getting it, kind of the hard way, just like everybody else in that field. So, all about it. All about it.
Here's my camera. Here's my lens. Here's my plexiglass suit.
Yeah, there you go. Right. There's a couple arm slings and crutches. You'll need them, friend. 15 seconds to go here. Juixetae lining up in the gun. Couple players in deep routes, but it's going to be, I think, Wilson just taken to the corner. Yeah, nothing doing. 4th and 10. 8 seconds coming up. You have enough for 2 plays, but no timeouts. That's really the bad thing. So you pretty much have to put somebody up the white paint on the sidelines. Get this one go. I'm not sure if I agree with. Well, okay, so you give it up on the 40 and the single play. Nah, I'm saying just have this be a long bomb. Have this be the Hail Mary. That's my advice.
Yeah.
Even though sorry, go ahead.
I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you.
This was an attempt on like a big punt, so trying to eat up all that time, but 7 seconds, not 8. Josh Allen and Neighbor are going to get an attempt, but that's going to be a rushing attempt. Okay, looked like it could have been something beautiful. Looked like it could have bloomed into 7. Not going to happen. 14-14 at halftime. This is a much more methodical and even-handed game.
It's like in fighting games where people measure the frame rates of an animation. I think if that leap was just a half second quicker, that would have been off to the races. That would have been the afterburn touchdown. But hey, you know what? Coulda, woulda, shoulda, all in the past now. Still tied at 14 apiece. Second half inbound.
Can you imagine like meeting James Cook and telling him that he was not frame perfect, like on a run or something like that? It just like either he wouldn't get it and it'd be hilarious, and this guy that could absolutely like savagely beat you if you took offense to what you were saying,
right?
Could do that, or even worse, if he realized what you were saying and realized just how nerdy what it is that you were saying to him was.
I think he would get it, but like, how do you broach the subject? Yo, dog, let me talk to you for a second. Hey, come over here.
Pressed X when you should have pressed Y.
Right.
Ooh,
oh,
speaking
goodness me.
of pressing something here.
Yeah, there's getting trucked and there's getting semi. God.
Man, oh man. This has been the New York Jets defense that has sung it loud and proud so far, but Neighbor and the Buffalo Bills defense going to be answering this. Harken back. Is Jordan Poyer on this team? I think it was 3 days ago, got sent off down south. Not for the summer, but for the Miami Dolphins. That's going to be a fantastic just breakdown of this defense. Read it perfectly and sent Brees Hall to a post or to the sideline right there. That was a fantastic slant play. That is exactly what the doctor ordered and exactly what Juixetae needed.
That's actually a good question. I'm not sure if rosters are being played up to date in the championship, so they're playing as
He's
of release.
21.
But
Okay, yeah, he's right there. He literally just got
Ooh.
a. He literally
Oh,
just
okay.
got a tackle.
But he's back on a 1-game extension. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
But that'd be kind of a cool thing for future tournaments, having just like roster accurate things update day of. It'd be kind of fun.
Uh, it would. It would also be. Oh, dude, how crazy would it be if the NFL draft was on and you got all those picks in and then they played the grand finals? How amazing would that be? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, have people like live bet.
Oh, good.
Oh my God, Dodson reads this one, likes a book, and decided, hey, I've checked this one out before. No library card necessary. Pick 6.
Well, here's why that's genius. One, the interception, definitely in the middle there, like a dog waiting for scraps on Thanksgiving dinner. But it was also great boost control, just in case there was someone be in a circle to use. And then came the turbo. But look at this here, right in the middle, as if the intended target, going the other way. And 25 is my favorite number, y'all.
Love it. Love it. So another point on the board here. Neighbor flipped this one around on its head. This was looking like a even-handed game with two teams that really had started out a little bit wonky, right? Because especially after the Jets change for Juixetae, but then found their footing both ways. But something tells me that defensive touchdown is going to be the spelling factor, well, the difference factor in this game.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who play Madden well, but the elite ones are the ones that can take the time to understand the opponent's changes and use it against them. And Rodgers pick 6, it happens all the time, even in real life, and that one happened at the worst possible time for Juixetae.
Perfect accuracy, but out of reach here for Aaron Rodgers and Juixetae. Pressure definitely being felt right now, Novanta.
And this is where you get rattled, man. When you have a pass that seemingly on paper look like one of the more secure ones, you go, I need to get my points back. And you start making these wild plays, which can work out or it can really be bad news if you're not careful. But as I say that, first down. Wow.
Wow, yeah. So Aaron Rodgers showing that time is a social construct made by men and ignored by those brave enough to dare to refute it. Nicely done, Lazar again. Comes off of the 30-yard rush or something like that. Rodgers does, and then sends a bomb to the right side, just inside to Alan Lazar for another first down. Hands this one off to Breece Hall. Let's man get this one done. Juking left and right, gets up for the first down plus a little bit more. Navanta.
Whoa! You can't be like, yeah, man, time's the construct. And what a catch! You can't just drop science and let it go. What are you talking about? My man, I gotta write this down. I'm having a moment.
There you go, right? Ooh, rush up the middle. Breece Hall gonna rocket his way to the inside, hit left and right, but that's gonna be enough for 6. We got a tie ball game, barring the perfectly timed, perfectly held, perfectly split right up the middle, 21-21 here for the Jets.
So this is kind of the chaotic good here. You saw the Jets, Juixetae and company just being a little bit more erratic with their offense. This time it worked out for them, using more of the jukes and rushes. Let's see if this game is going to be changed, because now we have a tie game once more, or we're going to see a lot more of that backyard football kind of play style.
Well, I was going to start off with a flag over on the right side and giving up really, really good field position to Neighbor. See what Josh Allen stepping back and the gun can do with it.
Ooh. Fantastic catch, cutting off the sack attempts right at the knees, quite literally, to have a completed pass going up.
Back in the gun yet again to the corner this time, comes up for it. That's going to be Carter the second with an interception of their own. Momentum once again going. Can't call it the way off this New York squad, New York City squad. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, they play deep in the jersey. I don't really know.
That they do.
Is it really New York? Oh wow, Rodgers jaw jacking in people's faces.
Is anybody really surprised that Aaron Rodgers talks a lot?
I know, right?
Gun. Breece Hall to the right. No real receivers beyond. That's going to be a little bit of tight end blocking from number 87 to the right side, and kind of makes it seem like this is going to the right. A fantastic misdirection, but only 3 yards will be their reward for the plays on this. Now heavily loading the right side again, trips up on the line. 2 seconds, not going to call this one before the end of the quarter.
A little bit of gains off a creative play, something about a victory onto itself. Let's see if you can build on that. So, fourth quarter here, 5 more minutes on the clock. Even though the clock is accelerated in a tie game, it could be an eternity to make sure you score and prevent any other opportunities for your opponent to do the same.
Another fantastic connection. Jetson, Juixetae, Aaron Rodgers, all spreading around the ball very well right now. And this is just doing a great job of throwing Neighbors' defense off. Like, so easy just to predict, like, oh, it's going to go to Wilson. It's going to go to Wilson. It's going to go short, right or left side pass to Brees Hall. But that is not what's happening here on the day. Lazar, I believe, even has more yards than Wilson does.
Oh, is that the case? Oh, wow. That's something that snuck up on me there. It's definitely a telltale sign of the kind of games we're seeing here, the kind of play styles we're seeing.
Back in the gun yet again. Brees Hall, rock in hand, rushes this one up for a first down, plus a whole lot more. Shook off the entire first tackle there. Up to the second, 310 total, and this game isn't even over.
Yeah, defensive coordinator is getting the side eye with that one. 4 guys going the wrong way, 2 more in the back. That is something of a thing for a highlight reel, am I right?
Speaking of, Lazar, this one out yet again. The receiver Y is really popping off right now. 126 yards. Who is Garrett Wilson?
Ridiculous. Back in the gun. Rodgers, hand off, and okay. We're finally seeing a little bit of adaptation. And even though it's a tie score, the momentum is definitely in Juixetae's way, it seems like, here in the fourth.
So last 2 minutes coming in here. If you're Juixetae, obviously you want to spend a minute and 55 seconds of this just getting up to that 1 yard line, preferably on a first down or so. But Hall right here. Hall's gonna give this one up. Rushes down for the first down, and now it's just a battle of yardage and time.
Yep, that's a very smart play to do the down yourself right there. But yeah, you're right. Clock management is super important now for them because you're in a silver situation. You score next and then run it down. You walk away and force game 3.
A little methodical play. Here's the timeouts getting started for Neighbor. They have read the writing on the wall and know that right now they are mostly fighting against this this clock right now. Decision coming in. Not okay. There you go. Now getting to the field. Aaron Rodgers, the gun. Garrett Wilson brought a little bit closer to him. That's going to be zone coverage. Right, Brees Hall. Yeah, not going to matter. Another timeout coming though.
Yeah, missed the blitz, unfortunately. Had to double back. Yeah, killed a couple seconds, but more importantly, you had to use that second timeout, and that may be something super critical for Juixetae, seeing your opponent blow a second one back to back.
There's Lazard, gets past one, gets Russell down like pretty much right after that. Still a single timeout though. This is kind of playing with fire here for New York Jets. Is this going to be the concede? This is a tied ball game. Okay.
Who conceded there? Was it
I,
Neighbor?
I believe that was Neighbor that conceded. We're going to go ahead and get confirm on that one and a lot more. We got our go-to production staff in our ears and the cans, as we say in the business, who's going to give us updates on that one and more. Because we're looking from Juixetae's perspective, though, I do believe that was the concede from Neighbor, as the writings on the wall is moving it down the field. But I have to say, in a tie game, especially given that this was like marching down, and they didn't really get a whole lot done with Brees Hall in the beginning part of this game. So logic follows like, hey, this is a pick that's entirely possible, especially if these screens are coming out left and right. That was already 2 pick sixes we've seen on the day here, Novanta. Both of those coming off the back of reading screens and just getting interrupted right in that pocket and then just taking it down the field for 6. Now, we will see this, and we're going to get, yeah, so that is a forfeit from Neighbor getting that confirmed. We're going to a game 3 now for our first match of the broadcast.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to having a game 3. It looks like Juixetae was earning it, but without actually scoring, that right there is a head scratcher because you could have been turned over on downs. It could have been another pick. It could have been an overtime situation. I hope that it doesn't come to bite Neighbor in the proverbial behind because you had a lot of ways to walk away the victor here with a tie game situation. But it wasn't my decision, and game 3 is inbound.
Absolutely. Thinking about things that either of these teams need to do differently. Honestly, if you're Juixetae, I think you found the momentum that you wanted here. The only thing that I'd say is maybe just take a little bit more time with your plays, right? Like there were multiple times they were coming in with the hurry up and just a situation didn't require it, right? It even would have benefited them to get a lot more of this time burnt out. And then we saw that situation come all the way down in the end as well. If your Neighbor, and of course you're still playing on the Buffalo Bills, I'd have to say getting the tight end involved a little bit more. We saw that way more than in game 1. We saw Dawson Knox come forth and have that's just repeated overall offensive pressure that yielded in yards and whatnot, Novanta.
Yeah, the one thing I would say also, if I'm Neighbor, you gotta take this time, this concession time, then to go through the Jets playbook and see what's being used and what's being used against you. That's the only way I can see why doing this will be a benefit to you because now you put yourself in a position to have to do a full game from scratch. And if you're Juixetae, yeah, you're absolutely right. I do think you found a way to have that smash mouth game, but it felt too jagged. It felt like now we're doing the run section, now we're doing the screen section. I want a bit of a medley, want a bit of a potpourri, if you will.
Yeah, like that mixed bag, that grab bag. Variety is the spice of life, people. Embrace it in all ways, shapes, and forms. Madden is no exception. I do think that both of these teams have been doing a good job of doing that, but at the end of the day, the James Cook rushing situation was really bad in the first quarter, even bleeding into the second quarter there. I believe that was negative 14 yards to start this one off at the first 2 attempts. So what that tells me again is this is a team, 2 teams really, but mostly this is that was the Neighbor Buffalo Bills that was kind of feeling the negative effect from this. It was like always going from the gun, even if you're rushing the ball, right? Like enforcing your running back to take a couple extra steps unnecessarily.
Yeah, and I gotta say, this is the Rally Car Collegiate Series, and well, if you want to go to college and help your country, you too could be a part of the National Guard. Soldiers in the Guard may qualify to receive education benefits from state and federal tuition programs, and soldiers in the Guard have the opportunity to gain transferable skills and leadership qualities outside of the workplace or classroom while pursuing a full-time job or going to school full-time. Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Fantastic organization. Set up competitions like this one, make these possible for various colleges all around, colleges and universities, excuse me, all around this great country. Oh, that was almost a pick. Aaron Rodgers 1 for 1 on 1 yard, almost 0 for 1 with 1 INT. That was coming back the other way as well, but a terrible way to start this one out. Dangerous play for Juixetae, but nothing really coming in with negative effect though.
That last play was kind of like a catch, an interception catch at the same time. It's weird.
It was weird. Rolling way out. Rodgers barely gets this one out. Loss of down, and Aaron Rodgers is visibly upset after that one.
Yeah, that ball popping out, tell you about Rodgers, to say the least. I was almost in that safety zone. You don't want that, especially in the first.
Uzoma got a little bit of attention, now gets picked yet again, but Aaron Rodgers just does not have enough time to get this ball out anywhere but onto the green next to him for no loss of yards, but loss of the down. Juixetae, and then the kind of measured plays, that's a thing of the past here. Audibles upon audibles here in 4th and 9 on the 17 as of right now. Wilson getting sent way far out. Garrett Wilson just not really being utilized as much. Hook play for Wilson, but this goes to Uzoma. Big man wrestled down about the 45-yard line.
Well, you know, I have a kind of a reservation of doing the 4th and long very early on, but if it works out like that, bails out New York, it connects, and that might be part of the toolkit nonetheless.
Brees Hall beating feet up for single rush, 14 yards. Well, Buffalo Bills are shutting him down in second half earlier. That was a fantastic way to start out your rushing game. Into the gun, off to Hall. Couple diving attempts, 3 diving attempts, all missed. Now works his way back on the inside. Actually, kind of hits Garrett Wilson right there. It's 2 rushes for 43 yards.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Not only of the completion there for Juixetae, but it was the blown player coverage and the tackle not once but twice. That is a mental error you don't quite see from Neighbor, and that's something that may be indicative of what's happening here in Game 3.
Just like literally that animation, just diving after a player who's just a couple inches outside of your reach. I think that can be a fantastic way to describe this game. Number 1 so far. Brees Hall lowers the shoulder. Gets it down for about 6 on this one. They're going to be on the 6-yard line.
Man, can you imagine losing 2 games to the Jets? Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me.
Brees Hall tries for the 2nd attempt and gets nowhere on that one. Loss of 3 yards, excuse me, and the down on that one, Navanta.
Well, here's the deal. It's still early yet, but we're seeing a little bit of that, I don't want to say playing angry, but a bit more aggressive on that defensive side from Buffalo, being able to close the gaps, try to go for the sack a lot more often. It's close quarter combat. No one has scored quite yet, but it definitely feels like the Bills are playing some of the Jets game now.
And once again, going to get up there, interrupt it. Ball gets out barely, but 4th and 7 coming up. Juixetae went for this one on like the 25 the other side, but it's going to be guaranteed points, or quote-unquote guaranteed points. Up and down. Bills defense not ready for that one. Going to be happy to take 3 points when Juixetae was hanging out on the end zone.
First game of the series starting with a field goal. And so it's funny because I feel like in game 1 it's going to be like touchdowns upon touchdowns. But imagine if this game comes down to a game of field goals.
Love it. Would love it. We saw a safety in, what was that? Yeah, that was last weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the safety that forced, like, dangerous, risky gambling plays on the other side, and they did come out on top with a field goal. 3 to trump 2 on that one, and that was an incredibly close one. That was, of course, another qualifier here. The bomb is out. Shakir whips around for this one, 21 yards on the recovery.
Quick-witted to put yourself on a swivel, because had there not been the case, that would have been an interception.
Shakir low. Juixetae, of course, one of the qualifiers from Open Qualifier 4. Juixetae had played in a whole lot of these as well. The consistent attempts and nice pick here. Carter the second got a pick in the previous game. Now gets an INT in this one. In a 3-0 game, now seems with a lot more momentum for the Juixetae Jets.
Yeah, it was interesting. Once they got caught, I could almost hear Juixetae be like, "Come on, man, get up and get some more yards back. What are you doing?" It was clean as a whistle. That was well earned.
It was not great field position, not going to matter when you can come into a situation, and heck, another field goal, that's 6 points. That's some serious pressure on the scoreboard here. 4 rushes, 45 yards. What, 11 and some change per rush for Brees Hall. Why would you do anything else?
You know what? I'm sorry. I don't want to harp on this so much, Tugboat, but I have to go back to that last game and that forfeit. I'm not sure if that was the best thing to do, to concede so late to give your opponent a psychological advantage, because it seems very much like it's Juixetae and the Jets' time right now.
I 100% agree. 100% agree. A man named Brees Hall has contributed so much to the offense so far. Why not go back to him here for Juixetae? Neighbor drops this series. You're going to have to look back on that decision, really examine it, especially if there's some more Neighbor contention in the lower side of the bracket, we'll say. Into the first quarter now, Jets marching down the field at a 3-point advantage, nothing for the Buffalo Bills.
I've never seen a game where 3 points feels so heavy. But that said, not saying doom and gloom. Is very much an opportunity to flip the tables or upset the apple cart if you're a Neighbor in the Bills.
From the gun yet again. I have to agree. I mean, 3 points seems like nothing normally, but those are... Uso Ma almost gets out of that one, just dragging feet, and does finally go down. But yes, the biggest 3-point differential we've seen so far If this was like, 14-7 even, that 3 points means nothing. But Brees Hall getting it around yet again, and now running, trips up number 27 over his own 2 feet. And that's our first offensive touchdown of this third game.
Well, I know they say all points are the same, but how that done was feel like a hurting blow. Just being able to break the coverage and then just put yourself across the desert all the way to the touchdown line. It's 10-0. Might as well feel like 100 right now.
I 100% agree. 100% agree. No points on the board, facing down 10 on the other side. 2 scores at least here required for Neighbor to bring this one back. We're really going to see them on the offense for the first real time. After the first real time they threw more than a mild range ball, it gets picked in the first quarter right there. Neighbor, this is your time to shine and prove you know what you were doing here on offense. Will not be shut down by a CO Green.
Yeah, that seems to be the case, man. That swarm of bees offense. Sometimes it kind of comes late after the fact, but knowing that you have to have a play decided quickly over time can be a bit of pressure that's more so self-inflicted. Oh, my
Loads
goodness.
of time. Loads of time. Stays in the pocket right there and pays dearly for it. 2nd and 17 coming up, Navanta.
Interesting case. It's still early enough yet to the first half, but I do think this is a must-score drive for Josh Allen and company. What I would do, though, is not rely on the extra step outside the pocket. Gotta make sure you do some quick passes like that.
There you go. Davis almost jumps into the inside, lined up the defenders right there at first, and only one was enough to take him down. 3rd and 4, much more comfortable here for the neighbor-controlled Buffalo Bills. Out to it, right to the middle. Stephon Diggs just doing Stephon Diggs things, and defenders. Wow. Draws this one up perfectly and gets the defenders a kind of pick or rub play, pick or to take and choose your verbiage right there. It was fantastic. This is the 3-point differential at 0-3 is nothing compared to the 3-point differential here 7-10.
It's comeback season officially on because that run was so good. You had Jets tackling Jets. You see that? It was almost like a cartoon. What just happened?
Like with the feet under him, like they're like tripping up over yourself. It's like, hold up,
Yeah.
zoinks!
Yada yada yada. You know what I mean? It was just
Yeah, yada
awesome.
yada. Eyes popping out of their head and like, awooga, no! You like turn it around, turn this train around. And then the 2 team defenders like turn into trains, like one's the wheel, one's the conductor.
Right.
Lazard. I feel like it sounds like a negative thing to say about Travis Kelce, always saying that he's the bailout factor of the Kansas City Chiefs, but Lazard really is that here for the New York Jets. Other options fail. With Gibson and Zuma with the protection in the front, it's going to be enough there for Lazard. Check out their total yardage in just a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny because it's almost like a secret weapon because Lazard is almost slower than most. And that could have been caught in midair. Lazard is slower than most, so it's kind of easy to write off and go, oh, there's no way that, that person will have any kind of positive gain with the ball. But once he gets it, it's like almost a guaranteed moving up the field.
Always seeming to get there as well. I mean, just had really good hands on the day, gotta say.
Yes, we do.
It's all going to be put into back rolls yet again. It's going to be hands down the worst rush of his play here on the day for this third game. Again, folks, we had what was 42 points against 21 in game number 1. Neighbor with the pick 6 in the very, very end. Juixetae brought this one back. Neighbor forfeit in game number 2 with still a little bit of time on the clock. I'd be looking back on that one, thinking about decision time, but game 3 now, bare lead here for Juixetae. About 2 minutes left in the second quarter, tries to get this one out, and it's going to be drill time on the right side, just outside. The IRL, there'd be a lot more to say about this one.
Yeah, game did Aaron Rodgers a favor because I just saw R1 being lined up. That was almost guaranteed interception. Just take the yards you got and be lucky enough to fight another day.
Exactly. It doesn't pop out like that in real life frequently. Game's going to give a little bit of love to the New York Jets and Juixetae. Considering, siding, surveying, and casting votes here is Aaron Rodgers. This was lifetime in the back. Now Audible's done, figures him out, snaps it out. 77 getting a fantastic block, plants the feet. That's Brees Hall right up the middle. Jets blocking Jets yet again.
It is definitely a cartoon situation, but you
Oh
don't let your
boy.
receiver just hang out in the middle, popping a beach chair, getting a tan. What was going on? Where's the coverage?
Why play NFL Blitz or any of those other kind of meme football games when we have stuff like this, man? Like we still have like crazy wonky plays, the Jets blocking their teammates and everything else. Brees Hall threading needles again, man, just weaving something beautiful across the middle.
Well, it's still the first half, and it's still 10-7. But it seems every time the Jets have the ball, we're getting more of a dynamic play. We're seeing the variety, spice of life. We're getting that. We're getting our juke plays. We're getting our passes. This is what we're talking about. Juixetae always had the tools. It's just not being predictable was their biggest crutch, and they really were in game one. I'm not seeing it now.
Yeah, unpredictable. The element of surprise, we talked about that so much, and Juixetae took that game 2 off the back of the new team here of the New York Jets. 3rd and inches, Brees Hall could spit to the first down line on the next one. See how they do when they essentially have 2 plays to work with. Me personally, I'm throwing this moderate pass on 3rd and inches.
I'll totally ask you personally. Why would I ask you professionally, man? Like, what would you do if you were playing right now? You know what I would do? Not concede. No. What I would do is definitely, if I was on defense, it's full-on blitz.
Sparing none here is Novanta. I love it. I love it. Hey, I mean, we'll examine the decision later if it really comes down. But yeah, if neighbor, yeah, we'll determine later. Brees Hall right up the middle. I'm not against it. This is just a safe play, right? And especially given the neighbor could have forecasted this one, like, oh, Brees Hall right up the middle, daring today, I see. Then they can set up a defense that could actually come up because 3rd and inches is easy. Throw the ball, don't make it okay. It's just me 4th and inches, and you have the same exact thing coming up next.
I will say you mentioned that last week, the daring I see. I never heard of it, and I've been obsessed with those memes for the past 6 days.
Dude, SpongeBob memes are just the best. They really are.
There's so many of them. There's like a new one every year.
I don't think. Like, I've actually had this like kind of, and before the internet, you could probably it'd be one of those things you just have to like debate about, maybe call a library or something. But a TV show that has yielded the most memes, I think The Office is definitely up there. I think that something like Friends would be up there, but SpongeBob is, especially for the popularity of the memes they have yielded, it's got to be the highest, right?
Which is wild because The Simpsons has more episodes, right?
Simpsons is up there as well, and yes, definitely. I mean, probably maybe even twice as many episodes or so. But like, more especially like the popularity of the memes, right? Like the SpongeBob looking out the window at Patrick and at Patrick and Squidward playing, like that dominated every social media for a while.
Right.
The how many times we need to teach you this lesson, old man?
Yeah, I'm gonna head out.
I'm gonna head out. The money, Mr. Krabs meme, like
Right.
it's a lot. I'm gonna head out. Actually, that probably was the most dominant takeover of social medias.
The sassy SpongeBob meme, where you do the caps lowercase.
Oh, yep. Yeah, or the fingernails, like the long fingernails on SpongeBob and bougie mode. Yep, another good one.
We have so many, man. So many.
Shout out to the Simpsons, though. Shout out to the Simpsons.
Absolutely.
Hey, maybe one day you'll make like 2,000 episodes and it'll be more than you'll yield more memes. Who knows?
I mean, what's up to now? 750, or it's like a lot.
It is quite a lot. That might be worth a Google. First 10 though. Searching as well, not necessarily on Google though, his neighbor for another touchdown, try and take a lead going into this second half.
Second half is now official. First half done, 13-7. New York Jets over the Buffalo Bills. And wow, AFC clash, and I couldn't call it, but now that seems way more probable, seeing how the two styles of teams have been playing.
Yeah, and both teams really have developed their own styles here. I do think that outside of minor plays to play or play to play, the predictability has been mostly deficit as well, mostly not found here as well, I should say. Really mixing things up and giving defenses not really a whole lot to go off of.
Yeah, just as a note here, according to Wikipedia, as of February 18th, 2024, there are 761 episodes of The Simpsons.
That was really close. It was really close. You said it's 750.
Yeah, Price is Right numbers. I win.
Did I get 762?
Oh, come on. Oh, good look.
Ooh! Sauce Gardner let the man cook. Another diving attempt right there. Gardner decides, hey, the pick is going to be enough. I'll take this on the 43.
I gotta give him props for having those Spectre gadget arms just out of nowhere, almost like 10 feet up in the sky.
Go
Wow.
gadget interception.
Yeah.
Reese Hall, the outside, another long rush, and there is no longer a reason to do anything else besides rush this ball or get short inside passes. You do not want to have a pick potential. You do not want to fumble this ball. This going in the hands of Aaron Rodgers. You do not want a rush that comes in and yields in this pop out ball where another defender can get under it, run it back for a 6.
Yeah.
It is worth stating that you take these two situations where Juixetae kicked a field goal and you go for a touchdown attempts. One was a darn near impossible attempt. One was like a maybe. But the fact that they have that 6 points from those two field goals attempts, those more guaranteed points, looks like it's really going to have an effect coming in here.
Yeah, and absolutely. That's the best way to say it, succinctly. To paraphrase a line of commentary from the game FIFA, it looks like the Bills supporters have lost their will to support because the momentum is firmly in Jersey right now.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Vision tunnel people rejoicing. Our one right up the middle. Gibson does get that in. Nicely done. This is going to be on the 9-yard line here for Juixetae. Hey, again, why not waste this clock, my friend?
Get the medic out there. You see how he landed? It was like helmet first into a shin. Jeepers.
Big handoff here. Now Lazard gets hit right there. There's an entire sea of Buffalo Bills players just dives for the right side end zone right there. Everybody just going the same way, and he actually gets around a lot of them.
Yeah, that's definitely frustration when on defense you turn the game into NFL blitz, and that's when you have a broken mental opponent, broken their mental. It looks like we didn't get a score there, but it definitely feels like one more touchdown can really seal this one away.
Yeah, or at least like put on some serious pressure. The Neighbors is going to have to force like some onside kick attempts in our fourth quarter situation that nobody wants to be in. The end around fake. Gibson all the way to the outside. Why not waste a couple of extra seconds? Juixetae earning this one thoroughly.
Wow. Just wow has been a word I've been saying a bit. Momentum is out the window. But what I want to say is the execution. You had the loss. You found a way to adjust. You pick a new team, a new approach, new philosophy, and you're just a couple moments away of walking away with the dub.
Away with a dub right here. Earn you the ability to go forth and play against... Oh, I just had the bracket up. There we go. To play against... There you go. Luke plays LAX. So Luke plays lacrosse, if I'm to assume that LAX means that. Also, as well, folks, want to give you a little bit of an update. No Mercy Lambeau has put down UMYP. UMYP and Laka Mo Jr. both losing to No Mercy Lambeau, and Luke plays LAX respectively. Jordu and Noah going to be playing as of right now. We do not have the results of that. Again, winner of this going to be playing against Luke plays LAX.
Have you played lacrosse they're talking about?
I have not. I
am not built for that. Way too much cardio. I had to train for like a week to do it, and for intramural when I was in college, and I was the most sore I've ever was in my life. Maybe
really?
Besides snowboarding. Yeah, it's just your entire body. It's just assault.
Oh, Josh Allen takes a look down bottom, and number 95 punishes him for the look right there. Williams puts a big body down on top of Josh Allen right there. That's going to be enough for at least for a statement. It's like, hey, this middle is never as open as you think it is, my friend.
Absolutely. I think that's very much a statement play to say you can go as far wide as you want, but you got to go through our front door.
Josh Allen, now this time going to be giving a lot more. You know he checked his peripherals for Williams, lurking somewhere. I know he's there.
Seeing Adams being player controlled. So I was like, want to see how they're going to tackle that one. Full on spear mode.
Third and 3. Plenty of time in the pocket. Josh Allen hanging out. Gets an easy first down. Slide down. 3 rushes, 12 yards. The first one was a bad attempt. The second one was solid for a first down plus a little bit more, or getting really, really close to that one. Excuse me. Third one there is good enough for the first down. Now getting hit by number 4 again, man. A lot of times these offensive players are shooting themselves in the foot with trying to just move through their AI controlled teammates.
Looked like they were going for the slants there, but every single target got stuck in traffic, and Josh Allen didn't have a clear path and paid for it. And there's another pirouette. Watch your knees, man. Knee health's important.
You're not going to be able to be tossing this rock from the seated lotus position here, folks. Knee's important. Allen all the way back. James Cook probably on bodyguard duties. Yes, that was 100% necessary. And Josh Allen is giving the field up again. Why throw this when you only need 3 and you're giving it right up the middle? Especially with this just collapsing. You see 5 players all the way inside. Somebody's going to get that blocked away.
Yeah, a lot of times this happens with mental blocks where you go, look, we're going to do this play, then that play, then that play, and you kind of close the creative side, the other side of your brain going, look, I can do something, I can find something else, and we have officially conceded the series. This right here is a come from behind victory for Juixetae. Congratulations.
Another first down right there is going to yield the forfeit from Neighbor. Neighbor going to be dropping down to the lower bracket, so their run is not done. Also, we do not have our 4th game results reported, but the only game that did not go down to a 2-0 sweep in that series, therefore round number 1 of this upper side of the bracket. Be seeing results and more as they roll in here, Navanta.
Yeah, you know, that's why it's exciting seeing who is going to come out and who is going to go down. If you would have asked me, who do you think is going to win after the first half of the first game, it was definitely Neighbors series to lose. Unfortunately, they did. They go down to the lower bracket. We got to give a props to resolve with Juixetae, going with a presumably weaker team, having one that fits hand to glove, got themselves a dub.
Absolutely. Like the simple fact, the confidence in the change, first of all. Second of all, the fact that you know that this defense can come forth and give you similar kind of plays as the Buffalo Bills do. I think both of these players, both Juixetae and Neighbor, had a similar kind of like mindset on this. Like, we don't necessarily need like this offensive powerhouse that is, the Lamar Jackson-led Baltimore Ravens, excuse me. The Patrick Mahomes-led Kansas City Chiefs. You don't necessarily need this because defense wins championships, and that's where both of these players' minds are on.
Yeah, element of surprise. I asked questions about changing teams during the series. Well, it actually worked here, so you can't call it copium, right?
Exactly.
Wow, GG's all around.
Exactly. Also, folks, we're going to be getting interviews in and hearing from these players like a little while later. Like, we obviously want to like cover a whole lot of players on the day, but especially given this first round, nobody's getting eliminated from this one yet, so we're not going to there's no inability to get inside the minds of some of these players at least yet, given that all 8 players, still within a solid shot. And that is UMYP going to be playing, Neighbor now playing against Laka Mo Jr. Juixetae will be moving on to play against Luke plays LAX. Luke plays Recross in that second round upper bracket. First round of the lower bracket is where we'll be heading to in just a little bit, folks. Break coming up here as we've gotten this one figured on out. FBI Tubbock Novanta, you getting these players together and back with you in just a minute.